his way to the cage tonight in our main event here at Cage Aggression 10 Redemption, Stephen Gladhill, representing Combat Zone with a record of 5-1 for our Bantamweight 135-pound title fight.
Man, main event. This is what everybody's been waiting for. We got a great matchup. You know, sometimes you can look at a fight card and just know when you see a fight that it's going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Seeing Gladhill before we started tonight, you know, everybody was in the back, getting ready, and the fighters meeting. I mean, he just looked like a cage animal. You know, he's so intense, so angry, and then you know, see that sort of, you know, transpose with, you know, talking to him, you know, afterwards and stuff, and seeing him on Facebook. Dude has a huge smile on his face, and you know, he definitely had his game face on tonight. And I know that he's been training hard. Actually, been working with some guys from UFC, with a few of his other guys too. So you know, he's definitely doing everything that he can to have the best fight that he can tonight.
Coming in wanting this title too, man. He is a challenger too for the 135-pound title. So he wants it very bad. He's trained very hard for it, and there's a reason why he's on the main event tonight. You know, first time here at RiverCenter, first main event here for Cage Aggression. Man, we got, like you said, all the ingredients for an awesome fight.
This one's gonna live to the hype, I'm sure.
Starting from the bottom, now we here. Starting from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here. Starting from the bottom, now we here. Starting from the bottom, now the whole team here. Nigga, starting from the bottom.
Making his way to the cage tonight in our main event, 135-pound title holder, Bantamweight champion Eric Showtime Shelton, with a record of 11-2 representing Militich Fighting System.
Eric Shelton is somebody that, you know, we're pretty familiar with. We've seen him. We got a chance to talk to him a whole lot, you know, over the past few fights. Very explosive fighter. When we first saw him, I would probably say that he's a little bit better standing up than he was on the ground, but he has completely changed that now. You know, after the fight, he looked excellent on the ground as well as his stand-up. So, expecting big things out of him tonight. I know he was a little bit of a scare before the fight tonight, and wasn't exactly sure if he was going to get all his, his everything taken care of, so that he was going to actually be able to fight. So, couldn't imagine how that would feel to only know hours before you fight that, man, it might not happen. All those months of training is going down the drain, but everything was cleared and he was ready to go, and we're going to get an excellent main event.
Yes, we are. He's been in here before, so there should be no jitters there. And both of them have a very impressive record. Shelton with 11-2, his opponent with 5-1. So neither one has, you know, tasted defeat too many times, and I don't think they want to tonight either. So great fight on paper. We're going to find out if that translates into the ring as well.
Bantamweight Championship. Introducing first our challenger, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 135.5 pounds. He trains with the Combat Zone and Team Carlson Racing. He's sponsored by Rashua Organic Market and Juice Bar. Joining us from Sterling, Illinois, Stephen Gladhill. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing in at 128.5 pounds. He trains with Militich Fighting Systems and is sponsored by Made to Black Fight Gear, Cage Aggression, Lay Low Kennels, David Reed Clark, Attorney at Law, and RiverCenter. winner, joining us from Monmouth, Illinois, he's your reigning, defending, cage aggression, Bantamweight champion, Eric Showtime Shelton!
All right, guys, we're the main event. We went over the rules in the locker room. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? All right, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. All right, touch gloves. Let's do this.
Here we go with our main event here at Cage Aggression 10 Redemption. Champion Eric Shelton representing the white shorts versus Stephen Gladhill in the blue.
Man, I already know this is going to be good.
Touch gloves, and here we go, round one underway.
Got a feeling there's not going to be too much filling out either.
No, and I like I
These guys are gonna
keep
come
saying,
right
man,
out.
I love the feeling out with the kicks instead of jabs. Already showing Gladhill already showing some stuff, you know, early on, side kick, but you know gets countered with overhand from Shelton.
These are guys who, you know, don't let the weight fool you. They are throwing tons of power behind these punches and kicks.
And early on too, I mean, you've got your whole tank full. And so that's where we're going to see these guys throw off a lot of power.
Yeah, you sat and you watched all the other fights. You walked down with your teammates, and you know now it's finally your time.
Gladhill all over Shelton early on.
Big kicks by Gladhill right there. Real nice left there by Shelton.
And so, I mean, that's what we're seeing, man. There's no break in this fight. I mean, it's early on, but neither fighter's giving any time. It's just go, 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 and it turns around. The other guy's pressing the pace, too, and that's what I love to see in a main event fight.
I would never say that, you know, having a commentary job is difficult, but when you have, you know, crazy good fights like this, it's really hard to continue to talk because you don't really want to miss too much. But, you know, that's just an ultimate compliment to Mike Goodwin and the fights that he puts together.
Now Gladhill looking to maybe trap the arm of Shelton, and you know, even the right arm of Shelton. You know, if he can push that arm down a little bit, get it trapped between the legs, and then have a semi-crucifix position. But doing well now to stay pretty tight on the Shelton. And Shelton does a great job of just kind of blasting out.
Really quick with that transition.
I mean, if you watch that, he throws on the triangle too, and already, I mean. And then there's one way to get out of that is to slam him down.
Powerbomb your opponent.
But I mean, just the way Shelton slid out of that right into an armbar, and then Gladhill knew to lift him up and dump him, and here we go back again. Any other fight that could have been over.
Yeah, and I mean, just the ultimate awareness by both of these guys to know exactly what they needed to do.
So and there's Gladhill looking again for the armbar, almost, you know, setting it up, but Shelton knew it's coming, so pivots around a little bit. And there's that north-south position again, where
I haven't really seen too many people try to do that, but Gladhill was going for some, you know, short elbows to the stomach.
You know, scrambles are awesome, man. Gladhill's just all over Shelton. Shelton flips back onto him. I mean, this fight's like, you know, in fast forward.
Felt like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was round one. Round one done. I mean, that's how it is when the pace is that quick. I mean,
and just the speed of some of the transitions there. And, you know, I really don't know who won that round. Don't really care to know who won that round. It's not up to me, but you know, just as a fan, you can't really ask for more than that.
No, I mean, it's, and like you said, when those you judge, I mean, it's just you judge. It was maybe harder shots landed, you know, time on your back, or you know, dominant position. Gladhill was on top for a little bit longer than Shelton was, but then on the bottom, Shelton was throwing up submissions. You know, Shelton was landing shots, so like you said, extremely hard to judge. And thank God we don't have one-round fights in the sport. We get to see hopefully a few more. So
both of these guys in great physical condition. You know, cardio is not going to be an issue at all for this fight. And sometimes you have to actually wonder about that. But at this weight class and seeing the incredible shape that these guys are in, you don't have to worry about that.
And Shelton looking, goes up and over the shot, and
huge kick by Gladhill.
Right. I mean, they're both throwing a lot of kicks, a lot of high kicks too. I mean, the flexibility for them to do that is great. Big takedown from Gladhill. And
Shelton goes right into the,
yeah, he's fine on his back, but you still get points with the takedown.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But you do have to stay. I mean, there's no point in taking somebody down and not staying active. And so Gladhill's going to make sure he does that and stays active. Both of them look to be both fighting for a position,
Right, and the arms are staying active. The hands are going. You're seeing elbows.
There's something I like on covering the mouth, mess up the breathing. Gladhill's kind of grinding his head down in the chin of Shelton. Shelton's doing a good job of holding on tight and not giving him a lot of room to do anything.
Yeah, everything you're seeing is on purpose. It's intentional. None of this is an accident.
Shelton, trying to pivot one side or the next, trying to break there. It gets, almost caught in another arm bar.
Ankle bar.
Ankle lock, right. That'd be and Shelton's been in this position before and submitted, so, it's pretty tight, but Shelton doing a good job of trying to, peel him off.
Right, and that was sort of awesome to see.
You gotta
somebody
throw the other foot over is what you do, and then you push off, and that's how you get out of it.
Right, and we've seen him be submitted in that exact same position, but that was a few fights ago, and now he's learning.
If you don't do that fast enough, you will get caught in it, but you just land your back a little bit, extend your body out, and just kind of pop that leg out. And he's got it again there. Now it's a little easier right there to peel out of it. But still, Gladhill doing a great job just staying tight with it, really going for that.
Right, and I know that he's, he is the one that's trying to get the submission, but he's not spending a ton of energy right now doing it either.
And the ankle lock too. I mean, Gladhill's on his side, so it's harder to finish that. When you're on your back, you're able to torque a little bit better. And but it looks like Shelton's gonna get out of it, which he does, spin out of it. But good effort, and and ankle locks don't expend that much energy. They're one of those submissions where they're a quick one. So Gladhill really didn't expend a whole lot of energy during that. Now Gladhill looking to kind of sneak full mount on. Shelton doing a good job of, staying active on the ground. There's round two, man. Like you said, these rounds are flying.
Right, and during the, that whole exchange, Gladhill was, pretty much in control of that round. He was able to, stay on top, able to land a lot of shots, and, almost submitted Shelton twice. So I probably have to give that round to him. But I'm not a judge. They don't pay me to be a judge at all. So that's just my guess at this point in time. But it's still, crazy close and really early to sort of come with any sort of predictions at this point. But I just know as a fan, this is awesome to watch.
I think this fight too. I mean, Gladhill would maybe want to keep it a little bit standing more than on the ground. He's done well, but Shelton's countered a lot and stayed active, and he's not been able to do any submissions. So maybe this is the round where both fighters kind of throw some punches and see. They were doing well with starting the rounds off with kicks. So maybe pepper the body with a few more kicks too, and see, and then eventually the fight will most likely go to the ground again. But just kind of test the waters. There you go with some stand-up. And Shelton too, I mean, he just waits and then he just unleashes two, big shots. Neither of them landed, but you can just see the intensity behind them. They were thrown with bad intentions.
And again, coming with a nice, three-punch combination to the head.
just getting out of the way there.
Really dangerous position
Yeah,
to miss like
he's
that.
angling out, but he's angling out towards the punch side, you know, so it's a Shelton strong side, so he really needs to angle out, you know. Both fighters, I mean, really are still light on their feet, and they are both working good angles. It's just that, you know, you get those shots, you want to make sure to angle out from the far
right, to avoid danger.
Yeah, because you don't see those shots coming. There again, just does a good job of getting out of the way. He just barely misses the Sheldon. Ooh, a little back of the head.
Yeah, got to be careful with those.
And you know, there's no need to do anything like that. I mean, just in the heat of the moment, big kick from Gladhill. And that's what I want to see Gladhill kind of open up some more and do some kicks.
Right.
I mean, he started off early and got, you know, some side kicks and that. We'd like to see him kind of open up a little bit more and kind of show off his arsenal.
Yeah, both guys seem sort of content to stand up at the moment, not even really going to try to take things to the ground a little bit. But yeah, it would be nice to see Gladhill sort of open up a little bit more because you know, Shelton is doing a little bit more of that.
He is. He's throwing big shots too, but good thing for Gladhill is not a lot of them are landing right now at this point. But they are, you know, there's a good side kick. But the shots he is throwing, even if they're blocked, they're still, you know, deadening the nerves of like the arm and the shoulder, but they're not going through the head. And there's, you know, even that kick again too. It was blocked.
Those kicks are weapons.
That hurt. I mean, just because you block it doesn't mean you don't feel it. So both of them need to maybe think about putting a combo together instead of just the one or two shots, one kick. And that's what you hear corners say a lot too. You know, don't kick first. Set the kicks up with the, you know, a 3-hit combo and then end with the kick, something like that. That's what I gotta think that right now. You know, both camps are going into they're going to the corner with the teammates saying, you know, yeah, see your kicks, but set it up first.
Right, and you have to see if you're Gladhill corner that, you know, those kicks are being effective and you can kind of, you know, outreach Shelton at this point in time. So you might want to do that. You also had a pretty good round when you took Shelton down to the ground, but, you know, sort of slowing down the activity probably isn't the best route to take for either of these guys at this point.
So here we go. We're going to go into our, you know, fourth round, main event of the night. We're getting into the deep waters of the main event, and here's where, you know, cardio is not going to be an issue.
What do you need, Mike?
But, you know, I'd like to
Keith,
see both sides kind of turn it up a little bit more.
This is money time. This is when you come in and, you know, you earn your money, especially when you're the main event. You know, you got to put on a show for everybody and, you know, show people why the powers that be had confidence in you to make you the main event. Sold all those tickets. You got all those fans here. You know, time to show them why they're here.
Big
held
shots,
back a little
right.
bit. Yep.
And then good timing by Gladhill. You know, and Shelton just literally bounced off and took his back. I mean, almost took his back, and that just shows the resiliency and the, you know, buoyancy of these guys. They hit the mat and they're back up, you know, into a dominant position themselves. But great timing from Gladhill right there for the takedown.
Gladhill pinning that left arm of Shelton down as much as he can so he can't hit him with it.
And he's still smart and keeping his, you know, arm or hand on Shelton's back of his neck to kind of pull him towards him. It's just a, you know, a bear hug type of position, not letting Shelton do very much from the back. The both are kind of in the same position right now, just kind of squeezing the whole arm, but, you know, it's going to be the person now that's forward thinking what they can do next and not just kind of resting and being content with the position they're in. and you have such little amounts of time to go into that next position. So you're waiting to see that arm free or the leg free, or something. Shelton doing a good job of being aware of the ring, of the cage, and seeing and turning off to it, and going into almost looks like not an official submission move, but got his leg around the neck almost.
It's just sort of making it uncomfortable. Anything you can do to keep your opponent off balance is important.
Looking for the arm maybe again. Shelton doing. And both of them just using that. They've got this little tiny amount of space right now.
One arm free.
They're both utilizing it the best they can. I don't know what the equivalent of phone booth fighting is from the ground, but it's similar where you just got this tiny amount of room and you make the most of it, and both of them did right there in that exchange. And right there, Shelton still being aware of the cage, and Gladhill just doing a good job of being tight onto him, not giving him much room at all.
Right. Shelton doing a great job of being aggressive, while on the bottom. Looks like he's trying to use the cage for some leverage so that he can maybe bounce out and move away a little bit.
Coming to end the round, but Gladhill doing a good job of just kind of neutralizing Shelton, and then Shelton looking for that big takedown to end the round, and credit to him for going for that with a couple seconds left. So we got one round left in the main event fight, which has been pretty back and forth. Both fighters have sent some shots through. They've defended some submissions. Right now really is where you see if Shelton wants to retain the belt, how bad Gladhill wants it. Both fighters' cardio, they're still going, so neither one has showed any signs of being tired. And so really now is going to dictate, like I said, the first minute of this round, I believe is going to dictate who wins this fight. You go out and you kind of pitter-patter and do that, it's not really showing that you want it. You go out and just throw it to the wind.
And as we've had with so many fights tonight, it's still up for grabs.
Right.
This isn't something where somebody's been so dominant that now it's over. Nobody really has to go for a knockout, but that should be your mentality at all times.
Exactly.
That should be the effort that you're trying to go to.
Here we go, the main event, 5th round tonight at Cage Aggression 10 Redemption here at the RiverCenter.
Left uppercut there by Shelton.
Side kick, and this is where those kicks early on. I'm glad to see Gladhill using them. They were very beneficial early on, so why not finish the fight with them as well?
Really nice job by Shelton there, stopping 2 takedowns in a row.
You get points for that. I mean, this is it is a points game too. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that MMA is a points game, but it really is for all those little things, especially in the 5th round. And right here is where I hope that somebody breaks out of this and throws something on the exit. I keep saying that, but that's those little times where and
it's something even where if you don't win, you're giving something for your opponent to have to worry about.
Right. Shelton, needs to get the underhook right now, and then just turn around Gladhill. So instead of going under the arm, he's got to come up and under, trying to do the whizzer and whip him around, but it's a lot harder to do. Fine, at least he's gets a good knee in for his troubles. But looking to flip Gladhill right now, and you have to use a lot of torque. And Gladhill does a good job of basing out and staying strong and cementing his feet into the mat. And basically keeping him to take on himself.
Right, and keeping Shelton really off balance. He can't really do too much when he's in a position where he just only has one leg down.
He's driving right now. Gladhill's got that single leg and just really driving to take down Shelton. Kind of fall, so I wouldn't give him credit for that takedown, but back on the ground where the fight's been the majority of the time. And now we see really who puts it out there. This is where there should be absolutely no resting at this point.
No, you got to give everything you got.
Every type of shot counts right now. Gladhill needs to, get to a hit, push out, shrimp out, do whatever he needs to do to break free of that position, because it's really limiting what he can do. I mean, he is staying active, but they're not doing much right now at this point. And there's Shelton just kind of hitting the body, coming up, getting ahead, doing what he can do, as Gladhill's doing a great job, neutralizing him. Shelton got to watch out for those legs too and being caught in something.
Yeah, Shelton's really, learning a lot of, earning a lot of points, I should say, from being on top.
All you can do is being squeezed down like that, your arms open for the body, but just do the best you can. Gladhill did a great job of, neutralizing that Eric Shelton in that position. We just go to the judges again. Man, they've got the work cut out for them this fight.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Really action-packed. A lot of technical fighters, or a lot of technical ability with these guys. Great main event tonight. You can't really. You hate to see it come down to a decision, but man, both of these guys are worthy.
We go to the judges' scorecard for this decision. All three judges scored this contest 48-47, declaring our winner by unanimous decision, and still, Cage Professional Bantamweight Champion, Eric Showtime Shelton!
There you have it. Eric Showtime Shelton retains his 135-pound bantamweight title tonight, defeating Stephen Gladhill at Cage Aggression 10 Redemption.